Now, as you could probably already guess, I really like FlutterFlow. It's an amazing tool to build just about any kind of app that you want, from very simple to super advanced. And the stuff that it gives you, all the functionality, the main purpose of all of that is to save you time and to save you money and to allow you to build awesome apps quickly and easily. But there's still some limitations, and one of the biggest limitations is that there's not a lot of widgets that you can use if you truly want like a custom effect. Fortunately, that is also an advantage because it's fairly easy to bring just about any kind of custom widgets, any kind of custom functionality into your app to make it behave exactly like you want. And so in today's video, I want to share with you 5 super practical and also super powerful widgets that you can use in your apps. Now, as always, before we get started, all the tutorials, all the stuff that I talk about on this channel, you'll be able to view and or clone all of it by becoming a member of our amazing Patreon community. And you can learn more about our incredible Patreon community via the link in the description below the video. Now, I went ahead and I built an app to demonstrate these amazing widgets, super practical, super amazing, that I'm sure many of you are going to be using at least some of them, if not all of them, in your apps. And before I show you how this app works, let's go ahead and run this app so that you can see, these widgets and have a better understanding of the usefulness of the value that these widgets are going to provide in your app development process. And to do that, I propose we run the app in a real simulator. Okay, so instead of running it from FlutterFlow, I want to run it in a real simulator. And so that way, you have 100% assurance, and I guarantee that this is going to work whether you're using an Android device or an iOS device. All right. Now, the first widget that I want to show you is a calendar widget. Okay. We all need calendar widgets, right? FlutterFlow has a date picker. It doesn't really have like a fully fledged calendar widget. Okay. And what's cool about this calendar widget is not only it's like completely customizable, you can change pretty much anything that you want here. But what's really nice about it is I added the functionality to book certain dates. Okay, so all of that is completely customizable. You can do it from your app. I'm going to be showing you in a second. But for instance, here we have this calendar view. And as you can see, this is, the current month and all that. But as you can see, some dates here, they're different color. And that is because they're booked. Okay. And the calendar knows that they're booked, and you can specify any date that you want. But most importantly, if the user clicks on it, we tell the app that whether they're booked or not. So for instance, if I click here, it says, Wednesday, March 26th, not booked. Okay. But if I click here, it's going to say it's booked. And obviously this is just a sample, right? This is happening inside of our FlutterFlow app, right? And so you can specify the booked dates. You can specify what happens when the person clicks on it. You can do all that. It's completely customizable. You can kind of move around here. You can go to a different month. You can also change the type of view that you have and all of that. Okay. And so now that I've shown you this widget, let's go ahead and jump back into FlutterFlow so that I can show you how I built that. Now, the first thing that you need to understand is that I'm actually using a built-in widget to do that. I just customized it to work really well with FlutterFlow. And so if you head over to pop.dev, which is an amazing kind of widget repository, you're going to find lots and lots of calendar widgets. But this is, in my opinion, one of the best, right? It has a lot of likes, a lot of points, a lot of downloads, right? So there's a lot of people using it, and you can create interesting views, right? It's all customizable. You can do a lot of things, right? They're showing you like an ad event and all that. And so if you want to learn more about it, just head to pop.dev and just search for this widget. Okay. But what I did and the value that I'm providing is I'm adapting it for FlutterFlow. Okay. So if we jump back to FlutterFlow over here, you can see that I have this custom widget called calendar view. And if we select it, you can specify your book slots. right? So these book slots are actually app state. And if we go into app state over here, you can see that I have book slots here, and I just have like just 4 random days, okay, just to show you the functionality. And so if we come back over here, select it, you can also have some callbacks, right? And this is very, very important because we want to take a certain action after a user does something, right? So in this case, you know, I decided that after a user clicks on it, if you want to do something else, leave a comment in our Patreon community, and I'm going to go ahead and change it and modify it and give you an update. Okay. If you feel that you're looking for more kind of customization. And so on this date selected, we open it and I just have an alert dialog. Okay. But we're getting important things, right? We're getting, if you take a look here, we have something called an action parameter. Okay. And one action parameter is the actual date that they click on, which is important, right? Your app needs to know what is the user clicking on. And another thing is whether it's booked or not. And so you can take a certain action. So for instance, I can come over here and I can, let's say, do a snack bar, right? I can just show a snack bar here and I can say, well, I want to get my callback parameters, and I want to say, well, I have is booked. If it's not booked, do this. If it's booked, do that. I have date selected. I want to display that. But obviously, I'm not going to be doing like snack bars and alert dialogues. I'm going to be doing an action. I'm going to be adding it to, I'm going to be creating a booking maybe, right? Things like that. It's up to you, right? The point is that, this custom widget is letting your main app know about it, right? So you can simply take this custom widget, which I have over here, all customized, right? This is it right here. And you can simply plug it into your app and start using it, okay? Now, the second amazing custom widget that I want to share with you guys is, I'm sure, something that you guys are going to be using all over the place, okay? And this is an amazing type ahead demo, okay? So what exactly is a type ahead? Well, if you have like, let's say, an input text field, you can have free form, right? Basically letting the user enter whatever they want. And that works in a lot of situations. But oftentimes what you want it to happen is you want the user to type, but you want them to select from a list of known options. Okay. So you can give them a select that only has the list of options, or you can have like a combination of both, meaning that they type and it selects, from your list of known options, right? So if I click over here, it shows us a list, but I can also start typing. Let's say I want to order AirPods Pro. I can start typing AirPods and it shows me. I can select this, and we also automatically create the shopping cart, right? As an added bonus. And so if I click over here, I can type MacBook Pro. I can do that. Okay. Now, at this point, many of you are probably thinking, but wait a second, Jay, this is already supported by FlutterFlow, right? And in fact, it is supported by FlutterFlow, but this one is more powerful, okay? It's more customizable. You can display lots of interesting things. It also works slightly differently. If you click on it, it shows you the options. I'm not sure if this is how it works by default in FlutterFlow. It might not. I'm not sure. But you have these options and it's fully customizable. Like, you can include multiple things here. As you can see, I'm displaying the name, the description, the price, right? Which is awesome, because by default in FlutterFlow, it's going to display the value there, right? It's not going to display all these other things, but this is all customizable, right? I'm pulling this data from FlutterFlow, right? And another bonus there is that you're getting the shopping cart for free and the checkout for free, right? So let's say if I have like a bunch of products, I can also increase this, and we have this price automatically updated. And then if I click on checkout, it displays it here, right? And if I do place order, guess what? It's a callback, right? So it's going to let your app know that, the user wants to check out these items, and it's also going to let the app know the total price. So you can take a certain action. You can forward all of that to Stripe. You can show them another, confirmation page, whatever you want, right? Because if I click over here, guess what happens? Order for 3 items. This is FlutterFlow right here, right? So FlutterFlow knows, what was in the shopping cart and things like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump back into FlutterFlow here. And this is this type ahead demo, right? This is this custom widget, and look how customizable it is, right? You can send in the product list, and I already have, and this product list comes from FlutterFlow, right? So if you come over here, I have my product type, which is this custom data type that I've defined. It has a name, description, and price. And now if we go to our app state, I have prime product list, which is an array, a list of, based on this custom data type, right? And I have some dummy products here. I have MacBook Pro M5, iPhone Pro 17 Pro Max, AirPods Pro 3, you know, future products, right? Products that haven't been released yet. And it's there. And all you need to do is, this is the best part, just pass it in here, you know, set up your border radius, hint text, and then you have all of these other options: show dividers, hide and select, hide and focus, hide and unfocus, grid layout, you know, you have your this, loading delay, all of these things. And then you have your callback, unplaced order, that receives the items in the shopping cart as well as the total, right? So you can just plug it into Stripe, send in the value, you know, show a Stripe checkout if you want, or PayPal checkout, or whatever you want. It's all there. It's all waiting for you to kind of, you know, set it up, right? And I'm actually using this widget here, this package called Flutter Type Ahead, right? It has like, you know, 2,000 likes, right? 150 points, 200,000 downloads, okay? And super customizable. Lots and lots of awesome things that you can do. I'm just using it right here. Right here, Type Ahead demo. Super awesome. And it works plug and play, and it's completely plug and play with FlutterFlow. Okay, so you can just use it. You can send in the list of products. You can send in everything that you need and configure your callbacks here, and that's going to work amazing. Now, the next widget that I want to share with you guys is an awesome widget that is going to fit right in certain types of apps. And this is a color picker. And so the way it works is that you click over here and you can select the color. And you can change how this works, right? You can customize this. You can customize this. And if I select the color over here and I click here, that color is displayed and my app knows about it, right? And I also have the hex code, right? Because that's kind of the purpose of a color picker, is that you select the color that you want, then you get this hex code, and then you can use it in your apps somewhere, right? Another thing that you can do is you can copy, right? You can copy it, you copy this color. And so now in this Android, it's available everywhere, right? Or, you know, whichever device you're using, if it's a web app, Mac, desktop app, a mobile app, it's going to be available there. And so I can click over here and I can select something else. Let's say this yellow over here, press that. And we have this over here. We have this color that's being displayed. We have this hex code and my app knows about it. And if I copy it, it's copied to the clipboard, right? So the app knows about it, all right? And for this widget, I'm using this amazing package called Flutter Color Picker. It has almost 1,000 likes, 150 points, 356,000 downloads, right? And so one thing that I want to quickly mention right here, something real quick, is that just a little kind of tip here, right? It's always a good idea to know which widgets, which packages have a ton of likes, because this means it's a proven widget. And it's a good idea to know it exists. Maybe, you know, you're not going to be using it right now or in a future app, but it's a good idea to know it exists because a lot of people know it exists. And so it's a very, very popular widget. So a little of a note there. All right. And so this is what I'm using over here. And here it is. I'm using this. This is FlutterFlow over here, right? And so if we select it, this is the custom widget, and it's super customizable, right? You can change the picker type, right? I'm using that block picker, but you can have that, you know, regular picker where it has, you know, the different shades of the color, right? Darker, lighter, you know, more vivid, less vivid, stuff like that. You can customize the select button, the copy button, the dialog title, confirmation button. All of this is all customizable, including the callback, the color picker, and on-color copy, right? All of that is super customizable. And like I said before, if you guys are looking to use this picker, but it's not doing exactly what you want, leave a comment in our Patreon community and I will do my best effort to make it work for you. Okay. Now, the next widget that I want to share with you guys is a widget that many of you have been requesting for quite a while. This is a PDF viewer, right? So let's say you want to display a PDF. You want to display maybe a rental contract or some other contract to your clients. Maybe you want them to sign it. Maybe you want them to read it. Maybe you want them to download it, right? PDFs are universal. Everybody uses PDFs, right? And so here we have a widget that displays PDFs and it's really nice, super customizable. I can drag it like this. There are also options to download it. Super amazing widget. And it's actually very, very easy to use, right? So if we jump back to my app over here, you can see I have this PDF viewer. And guess what? Super customizable. I'm sending in my PDF URL. I'm doing it here. You can also do it in your app. Like if you want the user to enter a PDF, if you're building an app that, requires them kind of read PDFs, right? The setup that I have right now is that it's kind of like you specify the PDF and the user sees the PDF, right? So they cannot change the PDF. But if you want them to enter a PDF, you have another use case. That is something that you can do as well. You can also load it from an app. If you have a PDF stored with an app, I have a URL. You specify the background. You want to enable swiping, enable swipe horizontal. You have a fit policy, default page number, stuff like that. An amazing widget if you're dealing with PDFs, right? I'm using this Flutter PDF view, okay? Once again, super popular, 328,000 downloads, 650 likes, 150 points, super universal widget. And I've adapted it for FlutterFlow that is going to make your lives a lot easier if you're building apps and you need some kind of PDF functionality, okay? The next widget that I want to share with you is an amazing widget. And this is actually a video player, but not just any video player, right? FlutterFlow comes with a video player, but just like with all the other widgets, they're kind of just very, very simple, right? They get you to a point where, you can work with a video, you can display a video, you can play audio, but, many times in many situations, you're looking for more, right? You're looking for something more professional. And so what's cool about this player is that it plays videos, right? So I can play a video, but we have subtitle support, right? Flutter does not. FlutterFlow does not have subtitle support. Has a lot of other things as well, right? You just have to enable it. But the biggest one is subtitle support, right? So you can subtitle it any way that you want. And you also have tons and tons of customization options, right? So let me show you what I mean. So if I come back over here, this is my Video Player Pro. And look at all these options, right? We have the video URL. You can also load it locally. We have autoplay. We have looping. We have show control. We can do a full screen, muting, playback, speed changing. You can change. You can show options. You can also hide controls, right? Is live, screen sleep, subtitle URL. This was one of the main reasons I decided to kind of share this widget with you guys, because you can show subtitles, right? Subtitles are important, right? Because you might have a video in one language and you might have like a worldwide audience, right? That they may not like fully understand that language. Well, guess what? You can just, show subtitles, externally, right? You might have subtitles remotely. You might be hosting it on your own server or something. And there it is. And you can specify show subtitle. You can actually specify how subtitles are going to look, the font size, the color, etc., etc. So, if you're building a serious app, you're probably not going to be using the built-in video widget, although it works, but there's so many other, much more powerful video widgets or audio widgets and stuff like that. So there we have it. Give it a video URL, configure it, give it a subtitle URL, and you're going to be showing subtitles, in real time as the video is playing, which is really, really nice. And for this widget, I decided to go ahead and check out Chewy, right? I'm using Chewy. And as you can see, this is probably the most popular widget of all the widgets that we talked about today. 2.16 thousand. Okay, 160 likes, 160 points, almost 700,000 downloads, right? So a lot of people are using it. It's not slowing down. People are interested in. You can Google for Chewy. You're probably going to end up on this page right here, and you can scroll down and see some of the things that you can do. Okay, you have this material controls, desktop controls, Cupertino controls, right? This is native iOS, iPadOS, iOS kind of controls, whereas this one is Google Pixel type controls, right? And you can scroll down. You can specify playback speed, subtitles. Really, really awesome, right? And the best part of it all is that you don't need to you don't need to try to make it work. I already did the hard part, right? I did the work. And so all you need to do is simply start using it. Okay. And so here's this simple Chewy widget, right? and I have it all configured. I have it all customized with FlutterFlow, so you can use it, you can take advantage of it, and trust me, it's a lot better to use something like this than the built-in one, right? If your app is anything more than, a serious app, right? If you're building an app that's going to be used by users, right? If you're building just a test app for yourself, you can probably get away with using the built-in widget, right? But if you're using an app that is going to be used by many people, you want something professional, you want to create a great viewing experience, then you definitely need to be using something like this. And thankfully, it is really easy to use because it's all customized, it's all created. And so that's all you need to do. All right, guys. So like I mentioned earlier, right, if you guys are interested in kind of, changes, or you're looking for more customization on any of these widgets, you are trying to do something that right now is not possible with these widgets, just leave a comment in our Patreon post, and I will do my best to kind of modify it and update this app. And remember, when you are a member of our amazing Patreon community, you're going to gain access to this app, and which means is that you can simply clone it and use the custom widgets in your apps, or you can see how I did it. A lot of people, what they like to do is they like to clone it and have it as a separate project. And then what they do is they simply get the code here and they use it in their apps. Okay. Well, first they like to kind of test it out, and then they like to kind of see if it works or not. And so I really hope you've gotten value here. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and definitely join our amazing Patreon community for more amazing content.